Hello. All right. So, what we got today? Yep, we've got a Mercedes. Uh, yep, actually an E350. All right, the popular Mercedes Benz. Of course, this is a 2013. All right, Mercedes model. Yeah, and yeah, it's got some problems anyway. So, a couple of days ago, the rack kind of failed on me, and yeah, it's an E350, of course, and it's a 4MATIC, right? So the rack kind of fails on me without warning. For those of you who owns this stuff, right? So just be rest assured that stuff like that is bound to happen, especially if you drive around areas that are kind of flooded areas, right? If you drive around flooded areas, definitely you'll be having you definitely have this problem, right? I think the car is currently at 136,000 miles, right? Currently, that's low for a Mercedes Benz, right? I mean, really a lot, right? But not the end of the world anyway. So here, for this very vehicle, of course, every Mercedes with not really an older, every Mercedes with a lot of miles tends to kind of develop some problems here and there and all of that. Yeah, some people kind of say you never stop fixing these problems, right? I wouldn't say that is true or that is not true, right? I mean, you can just get it to a decent shape where it is, really usable and really reliable, right? And of course, I've owned this car for a while, and it's really been a great car so far. Like, I mean, really, really great. It's really done well, right? So aside from the steering rack just dying on me without, yeah. By the way, I think I didn't mention. So this comes with the electric Mercedes electric steering rack. All right. So aside from that, okay, I think I do have some other issues. So when you make some steep turns, like heavy steep turns, maybe while you're just trying to back out, or maybe go out of your 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 apartment, or sometimes maybe you kind of drive slowly and then you do a heavy turn, so you kind of hear some vibration in the back. So I kind of initially I thought that was from the rear differential. Then I think some few days ago I kind of tried to troubleshoot it again, and then I found out that noise is actually coming from the transfer case, right? And for this very particular Mercedes model, once that happens, it screams money, all right? Because the transfer case is actually embedded with the transmission. So the only way to get that out is to, pull the transfer case out, put the transfer, the items in the transfer case, and then kind of, rebuild the whole thing from scratch, or you kind of replace the whole transmission, because of course the whole thing comes it comes all joined together. So my intention here with this is just to kind of change the fluid in the transfer case. I suspect the fluid has never been changed, right? Because sometimes once you drive the car for a while, so the vibration kind of sometimes disappears, sometimes it's very mild, right? So I kind of suspect the fluid anyway. So yeah. And I forgot to just mention what this comes in. Of course, this E350, right? Especially this 2013, maybe from 2013 mostly. So it comes with the V6 engine, the Mercedes V6 M276 engine, all right? That puts over 300 horsepower, all right? So if you are looking out for something luxurious and of course something powerful, all right? So under the hood, it comes with a 3.5 liter V6 engine that outputs, of course, over 300 horsepower and all of that. So, and the motor is quite reliable, right? It's quite reliable. Well, don't mind. It looks it's a little bit dirty. I mean, this needs to be cleaned and all of that. So we take care of it. So by the way, I was talking about the electric steering rack. So it's right there, right down. I don't know if I can put you down. Maybe if you can see it, but it's right down there. So we'll be working on that later on, and then we'll try to address the issues with the difference with the transfer case. And in the meantime, so let's start it up. It's not been started for days now, so let's start it up and then just kind of back it out and then maybe put it somewhere there. So for the maintenance procedure. So and there we go. So gonna start it out right now. So everything looks cool. Start it right up. And of course, the engine sounds like, I mean, pretty very healthy. I think I just need to point that out to you. Oh, maybe we'll kind of check it out once I pack it out. But yeah, the engine is quite very healthy, very, very healthy. All right. So yeah, there you go. So no warning light off for the SRS, whatever. So the SRS or whatever. All right. So I think that's come from some crash sensor right in the driver's side. So aside from that, the only warning light that is there is the tire pressure, and of course the airbag light that is as a result of that crash sensor that is of course faulty. So aside from that, there is no other warning lights or anything of sort, and we cool. So we're just waiting up for maybe about a minute for the RPM to kind of come down, and then we kind of did I talk about the AC? Maybe I didn't, but yeah, the AC is ice cold. I wish maybe I have some sort of temperature to put it out, but immediately turn that up, everything kind of, so we kind of wait for the RPM to kind of come down a bit. So which is already down. So we'll back it up and then pack it properly, and then we can start our repair procedure. So yeah, we're done. And all right. So we kind of try to pack it. So yeah, I'm gonna end this. So yeah, we start up just once it's done packed, and then we do what we gotta do. Yep. Think for now. Yeah, come on. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, think. Yeah. See? So there's one thing I usually like to do. So each time I want to work on a car, and I highly recommend these things, because when you're working on cars, mostly you wouldn't want to keep the door locked, and most of these things with this most of the time with this modern cars, like they kind of lock inside. So like they kind of lock themselves after a while, right? So what you want to do mostly is sometimes you gotta let some of your windows down, like really down, so in case of necessity, so you wouldn't have to go through the rabbit hole, right? So imagine you mistakenly lock lock your key in the car, right? And you don't want that to happen, right? And mostly, or let's say you kind of mistakenly drop your key in the car, and then just kind of close the door, and then you're back again doing whatever you're doing, and then you come back again to access the car, and then you find out that the car is actually locked. And then your day goes crazy, and even crazier. So what you want to do to avoid that most of the time is you can keep the trunk open, like what I usually do. I keep my trunk open most of the time, right? But so what kind of works for me is you bring down the windows a bit. The trunk thing doesn't really always work, but what works all the time is you kind of bring the windows down. Maybe this is a fair level, right? This is a fair level for my driver side, and I'm gonna do the same for my passenger side over there. And this is fair. So yeah, I can go to anywhere I want to go to, maybe with my key or without my key, and I'm cool. All right, so I'm gonna start the tear down process. So I might not necessarily just pull you up through the process, but I definitely walk you through every detailed process. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna definitely walk you through the detailed process, and that's it. So far I got the car on a jack stand. So offer, yeah, I just did offer, like I mentioned. So I'll be doing the oil drain on the transfer case, right? So I got all four sides all up on the jack stand. and here. So I'll be going under. Going under then to loosen the old steering rack, and then of course. So I'll be pulling out this tire anyway. So I'll be doing that shortly, and that's it. So yeah, I might not really be able to just show every detail process, right, of how this procedure is done, but I'll just walk you through. I mean, all the needed. So I'll just do that. So before you do anything on the car, so you always want to make sure that your battery terminals, the negative side, right, is out, and then you plug in somewhere properly, like you just plug it in somewhere that's very proper, right, and make sure that it's secure so it doesn't have the capability of wobbling around. And of course, we'll be dealing with an electrical circuit under, right? So this needs to be off, and of course we safe, and yeah, so let's go under and get this thing removed. So I will put you under here, right? So this is what we'll do initially. So we'll have to loosen this bolt out, we'll loosen this bolt out, and then of course we take over. We take this out as well, and then we'll take this out. And once you're done taking these things out, so the last one, so we'll be taking this. This should be like E14 or E13, right? So we'll be taking this out as well, and then we'll take out some other ones out there. But before then, so there is still the steering tie rod connector, right? So it's here, so we'll have to take this out as well, and then do the same thing in the other. Then for now, so just to make sure that we assess this, we'll take this thing out for now.
I pretty much took everything out, so while waiting for my brother to return with the new steering rack.
So yeah, I got the new steering. So this has just been delivered like few seconds ago. So anyway, I'll be doing the unboxing later on. So we got to look at what is inside. Anyway, hi guys, meet Emmanuel, Steven. Hello. So this is my younger brother. So he will be working alongside me as well. So yeah, so just sometimes you only be seeing my face alone, so you also be seeing him as well. So by the way, so we already got a lot of things done already. So we got the whole rack loosened. So we just want to take some markings. We just want to do some markings around. So yeah, so I think one of the things I didn't mention earlier. So by the way, so just to get to know, so we got some stuff that was blocking away. We got them out. So I got this slacked very well. Then this is also very slacked as well. And one of the things you want to do when you are changing this thing is you want to take some markings, right, to make sure that you align the new one with the old ones, right? So first you want to start with this pinion, and you want to do some very good markings around somewhere here. So and then you want to equate it to here. All right. Yapa. So then, even though that is already some sort of, there's an indicator in there. Oh, I don't know. I mean, if you can see, if you guys can see. Oh yeah, trying to focus the thing right there. So first, this is just, although there is already a protector there. Then secondly, you want to mark this thing. You really want to mark it out, and then maybe you can measure it later on. So when you loosen out the other guy, then you can measure it out. All right, so yeah, so you can measure out the outputs, like when you loosen this out, so you can measure out the threadings, right, to these points, and then you kind of lock it out. And yeah, we do the same for the other end. And so all right, so yeah, and then so let's go ahead and bring this guy down. So we'll start out unplugging these things right here. So we'll unplug this and we'll unplug this, and then we're done, and then this guy should be out. So let me kind of keep you guys out anyway. Maybe you guys can see. Oh yeah, so we'll be doing the unboxing. I don't know what this is thing here. I don't know, it kind of looks like it's compatible to what we kind of for. looks like this. Quite heavy. It's quite heavy. These doesn't look. This doesn't look some sort of pleasing. There's some metal marks on these things, and it kind of doesn't look nice. I mean, this is why some